Welcome back to the Carolina Packers podcast, where we're going to talk about the ESPN rankings for the NBA's top 5 players.
Yes.
What do you think about this list? Let's transition over to the screen now. As you can see, number 5 is going to be Steph Curry.
Yeah, when I saw that, I don't know how I feel about top 5, about Steph Curry being top 5. I mean, I understand why they would put him in that spot. Let me put it that way. I understand why he's top 5. I think if I made a top 5, I don't know that he would be in my list, mostly just because of his age, I think, more than anything else. Kind of injury prone. When you look through the list, they take injury prone into account for why they rank a lot of people much lower.
Okay.
And so I just think he's missed some time. Of course, when he's playing healthy, he's the best shooter, in the league pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, let's quickly go through this then. Actually, just Steph Curry, number 5, Joel Embiid, number 4, and then we have Luka at 3, right? Yep. And then Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
At 2, and then of course Giannis at 1. So what would your top 5 be then if you wouldn't have Steph Curry at 5?
Well, I think I really like that top 3. I think it's a solid top 3. I understand maybe the preference for Giannis having come off of winning, his first NBA championship. I would probably have swapped him and Jokic, but again, that comes into the weird game that they play where the MVP is not always their alleged best player or whatever that game is. I would probably have, though, a similar top 3, maybe swap Giannis and Jokic, and then Luka I really like at number 3. Embiid is a good number 4, right? When he plays, he's dominant. As far as number 5 goes, I really think Kevin Durant is a good option. I really do. The reason they put him much further down the list is they say he's injury prone.
And that's the thing, right? So talent-wise, I guess you have to. Again, this list is, I feel like, is obviously not really controversial. I'd say. I'd say it's pretty,
not a controversial take.
I'd say that's pretty self-explanatory here. I think 5 with, Steph Curry. They just won the championship. He performed lights out in the playoffs and everything. So I don't know if you can really blame them for putting him at 5. And then of course, on the same, similar to that.
Well, they didn't win the NBA championship.
Yes, it did. Steph Curry? Yeah. They beat the Celtics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say Finals MVP, like it says, Finals MVP for Steph Curry and another championship. You can't.
Yeah, it looked a lot like they were setting up for another dynasty. Mm-hmm. Because they've got Klay Thompson back. It's just, how old is Steph Curry now? 37?
I would
36.
I would say probably. Jeez, it doesn't say it on here. I would say probably around that age. But if it comes down to it, though, I could see them doing a dynasty again. Like you said, like they obviously were dominant, and didn't even have their center. James Wiseman, they didn't have their center and everything. So, at number 5, I could see him even climbing this list, especially if.
I don't know about climbing the list for best.
With Embiid, so injury prone.
Yeah, if Embiid gets hurt, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Embiid gets injury. Of course, Luka's up. On the rise. Obviously, the other top 3 are pretty self-explanatory. But
I really think LeBron is a good option.
I think that's
potentially be a top 5. I know that I understand. I don't know why I blanked that they just won again.
Yeah.
But I understand that would be, a good reason to put him in there. And LeBron, of course, has missed playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But as an individual contributor, LeBron was just shy, I think, of winning the scoring title.
Yeah,
right?
he was
like edged him out by 0.1 points.
Yeah,
or
I think it was like, I mean,
he had over
obviously,
30.
still at his age is obviously amazing, and I think that's what they also kind of are. There, it's kind of like the Tom Brady in the NFL. He has to hit the the cliff at some point. They can't put him in the top 5 just in case he does.
I really think Kawhi Leonard coming back for this season, another really good option for being a top 5 player.
But again, it's one of those things where it's like, I think a lot of players are verge top 5. It depends on how the year plays out, right? Because like you could see Embiid being injured or not playing as well.
It's just Steph Curry is kind of a defensive liability.
I get that. I 100% get that. I think again, I don't see why you can't put him in the top 5 for a Finals MVP for a champion.
No, it's not controversial. I'm just trying to think of. I don't know that I would put him in my top 5. I would probably put Kawhi Leonard there. I know I would get like a lot of flack for it, but just because of their age difference and I think the whole injury thing, I really like Devin Booker as I think someone that has been underrated his entire career.
Underrated, yes. Top 5, no. I could see you saying underrated, but again,
probably not top 5.
He's not a top 5. You're looking at like I respected like the whole Kevin Durant, even though Kevin Durant is very injury prone, hasn't it's gonna be interesting.
It's tough for me. As good as the Warriors are, and as good as Steph Curry has been, it's tough for me to give him top 5 props, even though he definitely used to be. Easily. At this age, for this season, is he a top 5 player? I think Steph Curry could go down, and the Warriors would continue to win.
Really?
Yes. I think if he's injured, I don't think they'll start just dropping games on that stretch because Andrew Wiggins
I could see.
is
I see
super
what you're
good.
saying.
James Wiseman is super good. Klay Thompson is back and is really good. I think they have Looney maybe.
Yeah,
still
you're talking like I think in
they just
general,
have a great
team around them.
And so
I see what you're saying.
He's a Finals MVP of the championship team, but that is a great championship team.
But yeah, I think in general, I think the list is pretty correct. I think, like you said, maybe take Steph out, put someone else in. But again, I don't know if Steph gets out of the top 10.
No.
It's one of those things where it's like splitting hairs. I think for all the articles that come out for sports in general, I think this is one of the more reasonable lists. Like you look and say, okay, I understand. Maybe 1 or 2, like you said, between Giannis and Jokic, it's like you can flip then maybe, but again, you're splitting hairs at that point.
That's true.
I mean, you're looking at a pretty solid list, I'd say. Maybe Embiid. It depends on the injuries, of course, but
he's also top 10 though.
But again, top 10 exactly. Luka again has obviously been on the rise and everything. So I mean, I don't think you can go wrong.
I just can't put him above those other 2.
Yeah, I don't think you can. But yeah, so thank you for watching this one. We're gonna do another video on kind of like the lesser 6 to 15 something like that.
See some of the other guys that maybe too high, but maybe could be a top 5.
Or maybe some we forgot to put in the top 5. Leave that in the comments below. But we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.